It's Week 13 of the National Football League, and we'll see Tony Pollard. He's the NFL's ultimate red zone back and your leader in rushing touchdowns. The action is only moments away, and it's coming up next on EA Sports.
What better way to start off the afternoon than with some football, huh? It's time to get things started here on the NFL on EA Sports. Up in the booth alongside Brock Hewitt, I'm Kate Scott, and we are grateful to be up here today because, well, it's been raining pretty heavily all day, and that's certainly going to make it challenging to operate if you're either one of these offenses, Brock.
Yeah, I think that's a fair point, Kate. Now, hopefully you practiced this week knowing some rain was in the forecast. Hopefully everybody on the sidelines, the umpire on the field, and all the football is able to use today, shuttling in and out, you can have that grip. And I'll also say this, keep an eye on the gloves. That technology helps these players in these environments more than certainly players of the past. Quarterbacks, receivers, running backs, everybody got to handle that ball carefully today.
Ball is teed up as rain continues to fall. And off we go from Northwest Stadium. Jamison Crowder on the return. Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line. So the Commanders' offense headed out for their opening drive. And leading them out, the reigning Heisman Trophy winner, the number 2 pick in the NFL draft out of LSU, Jaden Daniels.
He gave us all the excitement we could hope for last week, but it wasn't all in a good way, at least for his team. Never knew if his throws were going to end in a touchdown or turnovers, and he had a couple of both by the end of the loss. You don't want him to lose that gunslinger mentality. You just want him to be a little more thoughtful with each and every decision.
He gets it ahead, winds up with about 3. Tackled there by Jerome Baker. Give him a few yards on that run. It's 2nd and 7. From the 29. We'll get it complete to Brian Robinson Jr. And he is hit hard shortly after that catch. Great job hanging on to that, but only a small gain on that play. Chance to move the chains here on 3rd and 4. Out of the gun, Daniels. Getting up, and they get to him as he was trying to make something happen. And the defense comes through. That's going to back him up and bring up 4th down. Punt team is on now, and they get this away. He's got this at the 27. And he's out of bounds. Not the return that he had drawn up. No way. And actually loses yards. So here comes this offense as they get set for their opening drive. And leading them out is their second-year quarterback from Kentucky. He earned several starts as a rookie. It's Will Levis.
As a QB in this league, if you're going to finish a game with no touchdowns on that side of the stat sheet, well, you better finish it with no interceptions as well. Even if last week was an uneventful contest for him throwing the football, he did what he needed to do to help them come away with the most important stat, the win.
He just kept going the wrong way, and that's going to cost him. That is a safety. Well, I don't know if I've ever seen this before, partner. The first time they touch the ball, somehow it ends up as a safety.
Somehow, some way. How about we just call it unfortunate for one side? But I tell you what, if we get a safety on the first touch of this game, I can't wait to see what we're in store for today.
Nice positivity there. So hopefully he's able to find the landing zone next time. His first kickoff gives him some great field position here. 1st and 10 now. Here's Daniels. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop him. And the big play drives them backwards. 2nd down coming up.
Flat out a tremendous call. Perfect timing to blitz the corner, and the result proves it. There was barely time for the QB to set himself up to throw, let alone look downfield for a target before he was absolutely decked by somebody who I think enjoyed that chance to rush the passer.
And they limit the damage just a few yards on that gain. Jack Gibbons in on the tackle. Let's see what they went with on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Daniels. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop him. And the defense comes through to back him up ahead of 4th down.
Sometimes I wish everybody could feel what that feels like. When you're a QB and you just feel the air in the pocket getting sucked out and you know there's no escape, it can be just one heck of a deflating feeling. Not for that defense who puts a sack on the board.
And he's out of bounds. Not the return that he had drawn up. No way. And actually loses yards. So a change of possession here on the punt. And they'll be backed up a good bit for this drive. Offense ready to begin this drive. 1st and 10. The first carry here for Tony Pollard. Jukes one defender. We're at the end of one in a defensive showdown that has lived up to its billing thus far. How about this? It's a 2-0 ball game. We're back to Northwest Stadium right after this. First and 10, it's Pollard. And he won't salvage that. It's a loss on the play.
Well, he was supposed to be the one who chipped away a few and got a new set of downs started right in rhythm. Instead, he's now forced to pick himself from behind the line thanks to a great effort defensively.
And he heads out of bounds. Great pickup on that run. A nice gain of 13 yards as it brings up a 1st down. New set of downs for him at the 38. It's a sweep. He pops the pass forward. Continuing to move past the 45. Has a hole left, room to run. And that is a touchdown. These guys get some late points and the lead. It's a Tajay Spears touchdown. The 23rd of the season, tying the record for receiving scores in 1 year. Offense not going anywhere. They want to. Quick touch pass to the receiver. And he's into the end zone again. So he gets them the big play touchdown, and then they reward him with a chance to add on 2 more. It's all lined up. Folk ready to send this one flying. Return coming from the 6. Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line. The Commanders and QB Jaden Daniels headed out for their next look on offense. And he's been more than just his work as a passer this season. Look at this. He's gotten the job done on the ground as well. 2nd among NFL quarterbacks in rushing yards. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. Shotgun snap to Daniels. He's on the move. He takes it himself. And he pushes it up across the 30 before going out.
Well, the QB made something happen and got some yardage when the play didn't develop right. And even got himself out of bounds to avoid a hit. The only negative at all is he couldn't quite get the 1st down.
Flush down out to his left. Taking off with it again. He loses the football. But it looks like someone from the Commanders got to that one. They'll keep the football. The Commanders take a timeout. They're first. Daniels on 1st down. Has a man. It's the ball is loose. Oh, the fumble jumps out of bounds. What a break there for the offense. Give him an even 10 yards on the play. And that'll be good for a Washington 1st. Now Daniels to throw. Escapes the pocket. He tucks it and takes off. And he goes out a little short of the 40.
Well, you don't get the first down, but I'll tell you this, Kate, that drives the defense and the defensive coordinator nuts. They do everything right. They win, and yet still QB makes something out of nothing.
From the 42. Escapes out to the left. And this time they're going to get there, and they drop him. Washington calls it second timeout. It's 3rd and 8. Need to get a chunk here. Trying to throw here out of the gun. He's on the move. Oh, he's going to run for it. And he wisely avoids contact, sliding down there, and that played good enough for a first. They gain 14 on the play, and the Commanders will have a first. It's a new set of downs for him at the 32. Escapes the pocket. Now here he goes again.
Offside, defense.
Pretty easy call to make. He lined up offsides, and now he gets a talking to from his coach.
Still first down.
A bit jumpy across the way there, and that halves the distance ahead of him on first down. Daniels back to throw. On the move. Caught him deep behind the line. Oh, the ball is out! Recovered by the defense.
You know, this just can't happen on first down. It really can't. I mean, ball security is at a premium on every down, every distance. But on first down, it is especially a killer.
Beginning a new drive here, but just 16 seconds to go before halftime. This one's a little touch pass forward to his man coming across. On the move, past the 40. Hits the 20. He does it. Touchdown. These guys will add to their lead at the end of the half. It's a Tajay Spears touchdown, his second scoring catch of the game. Quite the throw from him on that play, Brock. I gotta say, he looked like he'd make quite the emergency quarterback for this squad if the need ever arises, huh?
And, Kate, I know how this plays out, all right? They worked on it all week. He showed out during the practice week on the practice field, and now he just showed out when it really mattered, and everybody's going to hear about it, and they don't mind, because you're absolutely right. That was a dime for 6.
Commanders 2.
Well, Brock, barring the touchback, this kickoff should run out the half, so better make that return good as it's away. This return starts at the 5. He's hauled down on what is the final play of our first half. Moving through this game at a sprinter's pace, we're already at halftime. Now we'll send you down the East Coast to Orlando. Turn things over to our buddy Jonathan Coachman in the EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Kate, we'll get back to you and Brock in a bit. For now, plenty of early action in the 1 o'clock Eastern window to get you caught up on. So let's get to it. We'll start up at Gillette Stadium in Foxborough. And it's the Colts who have the lead in the second quarter. Alec Pierce, a touchdown reception. Next, we'll head east. It's on to Cincinnati as we check in on the Bengals at home at Paycor Stadium. And they've got the lead in their matchup with the Pittsburgh Steelers. A couple of touchdown passes there for Joe Burrow. Lastly, let's get out to Jacksonville. See what's happening with the Jaguars at TIAA Bank Field. As you can see the score there in the second quarter. Trevor Lawrence with a couple of touchdown passes there. The highlights are fairly one-sided to this point. It's a 2-touchdown difference here at the break. But I wouldn't call this one over just yet. I think there could still be some fireworks yet to come. These two teams making their final adjustments for the second half ahead. It's time to get back at it. For the call, let's rejoin Kate Scott and Brock Hewer.
As always, a hat tip to Coach for his hard work during the break, as we're happy to welcome y'all back for the start of our third quarter. This one's fielded at the 40-yard line. And oh boy, very dangerous spot to begin this drive. He's out at his own one.
Can't happen. Man, that's just something you never, ever see at this level. That's a complete failure of operation, not just by the returner, but the return team in general. And now, instead of getting into your normal offense, you got to find some way, somehow, to dig yourself out of this hole.
They'll start this one on the ground with Pollard. And he's not going to escape. They could not get the push they needed. That's going to be a safety. I'm going to borrow a common expression here, Brock. They played with fire, and ooh, they got burnt with a safety.
And I got a more common one for you that I can just hear in the stands and on talk radio. That was a bad call. That's a bad call, Coach.
Bad call.
And that defense gave him 2 more reasons to rethink that type of call down the road.
So following the safety, Brock, they're on now to begrudgingly send it away with a free kick. Pulled in at the 20. And he's going to bring it up to the 40-yard line before he stopped. Ooh, after that play, we can tell he's hurting. He's someone they need to help their playoff hopes. Training staff working on him now. Commanders starting out in a good spot this drive as they get set. 1st and 10. Back to throw. Here's Daniels. Pressure's on him, and it gets home. He's dropped. And the big play drives them backwards. 2nd down coming up.
How many times we see these coaches after games sit there at the press conference, they pull out the stat sheet, and when they do, they look for some anomalies. And today, well, this head coach is going to be very proud of a defensive effort, getting after the quarterback 6 different times. 6 sacks, and they've had a heyday in the backfield.
Finds his target, Robinson. And the defense is all over this one for a big loss.
That just might be a throw he regretted as soon as you let it go. I know that feeling. He was doing all he could to find a completion down the field, but they were all over that check down and ready to turn it into a negative play.
3rd and long for Daniels. He's on the... Oh, no, he lost control of another one. It's picked up by the defense.
You know, they like to say about sports, it's 90% mental. Well, right now with this runner, after 3 fumbles, it's 100% mental. You got to hang on to the football. It's in his head right now, and it just can't happen.
They're out and set. 1st and 10. Throwing now, following the turnover. Escapes the pocket. And he's able to get it to the 2 before the stop. It's a real solid pickup, 12 yards, and it rewards him with a 1st and goal.
As long as these are the results he's getting, they're going to be just fine with him calling his own number. He does such a good job of seeing the field and knowing when it's his time to take it himself.
Flushed out of the pocket. And the Commanders get home, they drop in. And the pressure drives them backwards. After the loss, it's 2nd and goal from the 5. Levis from the shotgun. Rolling left, buying some time. And he carries it in for the touchdown. These guys turn the fumble into 6. Will Levis with the touchdown. Wow, great work there by the quarterback. The play broke down, didn't really have much of a choice other than to escape and improvise. And in the end, Brock, the best call he could have made.
Yeah, and you can do it in different ways in today's NFL, right? The Tom Brady's just recently retired. He did it with his brain. He did it with his mind, but you've got to be able to improvise, as you said. You got to be able to create when a play breaks down. And when you can put 6 on the board, man, does that infuse your offensive group with confidence.
And they stay perfect, Brock. That's a perfect 3 for 3 now on 2-point tries. Is it just automatic at this point that if there's a touchdown, they're going to go for two?
Well, I think until this defense stops them, that answer is going to be yes. It's not supposed to be this easy. I mean, the numbers tell you you're not supposed to have this kind of success rate, but it's really clear this defense has no answer. Run, pass, confidence, the offense is owning them.
They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. Throwing now, Daniels. He'll get this one to Brown. And he's brought down after a short gain. 2nd down now, 7 to go.
27-yard line.
They'll motion Brown right. So we're through 3 here. It's not quite over yet, but it'd take a pretty miraculous comeback. We've got a 3-score game as we get set to start the 4th quarter. Daniels from the pistol. And the cover just too good there. Didn't find a throw that he was confident in, so just throws it away. 3rd down coming up. Shotgun snap, they're gonna throw. Another turnover, this time it's an interception. L'Jarius Sneed with the INT. And a great return comes to an end with the tackle. Oh boy, they cleaned up the fumbling issues from the last drive, and now it's an interception that turns the ball over.
Yeah, and 2 very different tones and tenors on these 2 sidelines. One coach is pleading, begging for some ball security. The other is simply saying, keep it up, boys. Keep taking that ball away. Job well done.
The visitors and Tony Pollard headed back out there offensively. And he's found many a gift in the end zone this season. As we work through December, he is currently tops in the league in rushing scores. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. Oh, he taps it quick to the receiver coming across here. And he's in. Touchdown! These guys keep adding to that 4th quarter lead. It's a Tajay Spears touchdown. His 3rd through the air this game. 3 touchdown catches in 1 game is rare air, Brock. Safe to say most guys who retire can name every time they did that here in the NFL.
Yeah, I hope he remembers it, but also remember this. Receivers, they're a dependent position. They're dependent on the guys doing their job up front. They're dependent on the quarterback putting it on the spot. And usually, when you reach a milestone like this, you love to share it with everybody else. And my guess, especially if they could find a way to win this one, is this receiver will celebrate it with all of his guys.
So after thinking it over, they're lining up for 2. Quick touch pass to the receiver. And he is hit well behind the line and goes down. They're not able to make much of anything on that 2-point attempt. Well, they are perfect no longer. Defense finally stops them on a 2-point try. You think this is just a case of they were going to go for it every time, Brock, until it didn't work out?
Yeah, not a gambler, but this is house money. And when you feel this good and you're this hot, continue to take advantage. They've obviously seen something this week in their preparation that they could go after these guys they have. And I don't think one time getting stopped is going to deter him moving forward.
He's brought down at what looks like the 24-yard line. Washington ready to go on offense as they take the field. Well, we all know at this point, turnovers the big problem for them in this game, Brock. And not surprisingly, the defense has capitalized on those mistakes on more than one occasion to their benefit.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that can be tough to win football games in spite of, right? But over the test of time, turnovers are the #1 thing that cost you games, especially after that first one. Once there's blood in the water, you feel it with the defense. They get all over you, trying to force another turnover and another and another.
And he'll go down after fighting his way to the 32.
That is a textbook first down completion. Sets up second and very manageable and creates space to take that shot downfield.
Buys time, rolling right. And this one doesn't go far.
You know, Kate, they always say that QB clock, you know what it's more like? It's more like an alarm, especially in a situation like that. And it's a good thing you woke up to it, able to make something out of nothing and at least keep them moving forward.
And even on third down, he sees no choice other than to get rid of it. Not the play they wanted. It's going to be fourth down. They'll run it with Robinson. And he's up to the 35-yard line as they reel him in. Only 1 yard, but when all you need is an inch or two, Brock, that'll still move the chains. They're set up at the 35 now. On first down, here's Daniels. Catch is made down the right sideline. And a solid gain gets them across the 45 before he goes out. Let's see how they attack this first down, Brock, from the 43.
First and 10 at the 43-yard line.
Daniels now. This is hauled in by McLaurin. And he's tackled after gaining a handful.
Every once in a while, it's fine to be conservative on first down, especially when you get enough to stay on schedule and get a little something coming out of it, too.
Throws this one away.
This is why we hear about closing speed so often when you evaluate players. You know, once he senses the pressure, he's getting rid of that ball. It takes a player who can close quickly to get to him before it's released and alter that throw.
Wow, it's free again! And it's picked up by the defense.
You know what separates good defenses from great? Good defenses find a way to get off the field. Great defenses find a way to take the ball away. What a great play to set their offense up with some mojo.
First and 10 from a yard shy of midfield. Taps it quick to the receiver coming across. Broke through the tackle. He cuts it to the right side. Through the defense he goes. Room to burn. And he'll add to their lead on the final play of the game as he's in for the touchdown. These guys continue piling it on here in the fourth. It's a Tajay Spears touchdown. Well, that one might not sit so well with everybody down on the field. Heck, maybe some of his own guys, too. But he had a chance at a touchdown as time expired, Brock, and it was just too much for him to resist.
Yeah, it probably will ruffle some of the older school feathers down on the sidelines. But for a lot of the guys coming into this league each year, they're used to it. If there's time left, if you're trying to score, you're going to want to eat, no matter what the game situation is, and they used every last second available.
So for Brock Heward and all of our crew, I'm Kate Scott, wrapping up another edition of the NFL on EA Sports. What a game for our winners. As with that, we sign off from D.C.